There are three gods mentioned in Gita chapter 15, verses 16-17. Who are these three lords? After taking refuge in which god birth and death can be ended? Who is the best god among the three lords? What is he like? What is his name? To unravel all these mystical secrets, must listen the nectar words of Jagat Guru Tattvadarshi Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, based on the holy scriptures of all religions.
People of town go and see that the saint doesn't sleep day and night. Once or by hiding, they kept watching for 10 days, 20 days that truly he never sleeps. They got impressed with this and made his ashram there. What happened by not sleeping? Did he win a fort by doing that? He attained his power and because of this became a saint. Don't know how many he ruined, so it is. They say,
एक सिद्धि निस्वासर जागे, एक सिद्धि सेवक हो आगे.
there is such a power that at one time a saint did worship. Their past virtues are with them. They only leave their home for devotion without knowledge, and their past virtues are deposited above. So they gain such powers, and due to their virtues, they get servants here. Spiritual servants come in the form of ghosts and stand in front of them. And then with them, they make them into someone who suffers. Then ghosts say, take him there, and there the saint cures them on their own. In this way, the exorcism business goes on. So it has been said,
एक सिद्धि सब सागर पीवे, एक सिद्धि जो बहुत जुग जीवे. एक सिद्धि कष्ट तन जारा, एक सिद्धि तन हंस नियारा. एक सिद्धि जल डूब ना जाई.
one power is such that you walk on top of water, you won't drown. As was just told to you, he had this power. One power is such that you enter in water and when you come out, your feet will be dry. Water does not touch feet. Similarly, there is a Sasana village in Rohtak district, probably it is in Sonipat now, from Rohtak towards Sonipat road in Kharkhoda side. In Sasana village, there was one Ghisa cult. All of them became a branch of Nekiram later. He had one power that he comes back after going to the pond, but the mud and water don't stick on the feet. With this, he became Lord, and a big ashram is built on that road. They started calling him Narayan Mahatma. His name was something else. God at last says,
कि एक सिद्धि बहुत चोलेदार है.
they take many forms. He's seen there, is also seen there. So it is said this is also useless.
24 को ना जल जावे, सोहंसा शब्द अतीत कहावे. प्रसिद्धि पूर्ण पटरानी, सतलोक की कौ निशानी.
It is said that Kabir Parmeshwar ji has that unique power. Prasiddhi means mother of all powers, means the entire stock has been stored, means Almighty has countless powers. Here this Kal has 8 powers, only 8 powers. Here God is telling us that the mantra Satnam that I have given you with this 24 powers will come to you. But these will be your enemies if you start using them. Those devotees who have taken mantra for 2-3 years, and if you start blessing someone, then they will get benefits from you, but your devotion will be destroyed. So do not make such mistake. You see that they perform exorcism in many villages which provides some relief. He is a virtuous creature of previous birth. He has done some devotional practice some time and some of that deposit is remaining. Now he is ruining it by performing spells and then he will become a donkey. Then on whom will he perform exorcism? The potter will do that and beat him on the back. Virtuous souls, you have to understand the spiritual knowledge. You will have to become familiar with all deeds. Like in verse 1 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 8, Arjun asked that God, you have said in verse number 29 of Gita chapter 7 that, dependent on me, on what? In verse 32 of 4th chapter, it has been said that the Tattva Gyan, special information about religious practices, of religious rituals, sacrifices, has been written in the speech of Sachidanand Ghana Brahma. And it has been told in 4th chapter from verses 25 to 30 that someone does it like this, someone does it this, someone do this, some do penance while standing, some do force worship, some worship gods, and some do self-study, some practice yoga. Yoga means asanas. It is said that they are doing their worship considering it to be destroyer of sins. But special information of practices has been scripted in detail in speech of Sachidanand Ghana Brahma, which God himself has come and given from his mouth, Brahmane Mukhe. That is true spiritual knowledge. It has been said in detail. It has been stated in 34th verse of 4th chapter that understand that Tattva Gyan by going to a Tattvadarshi saint, by prostrating to them and politely questioning them and leaving behind the hypocrisy that Tattvadarshi Sant will give you the knowledge of that supreme God. Now the knowledge giver of Gita is also unfamiliar with Paramatam Tattva, which means true spiritual knowledge. He said in 7th chapter 29th verse that those who depend on me make this knowledge the basis of which I am telling and meets the Tattvadarshi Sant. Then what happens? Then he, depending on my knowledge, those Jara Maran Moksha Yatanti Te. Jara means old age, Maran means death. Who try to escape from misery of old age and death, do spiritual practice only for that, and do not demand anything else of this world, they Tat Brahma Viduhu. Akhil Krits Nam Adhyatam know the whole spirituality and are familiar with all the deeds. They are familiar with the whole spiritual knowledge and are familiar with Tattva Brahma. Only they are making efforts to get rid of birth and death. Virtuous souls. Then in 8th chapter, in 1st verse, Arjun asked again, Kim Tat Brahma? Then what is that Tat Brahma? He answered in 3rd verse of 8th chapter that he is Paramakshar Brahma. The knowledge giver of Gita is telling himself that he is someone else. Then in 5th and 7th mantra of the 8th chapter, knowledge giver of Gita says that if you worship me, you will attain me. You will have to fight. Here there can never be peace. And if you have to do my spiritual practice, then he has told in 13th verse of chapter 8 that Om iti ekaksharam brahma vyaharan mam anusamran ye prayati tajam deham sayati paramam gatim. Mam Brahma means me Brahma. Om iti ekaksharam, this Om is just one word. And remembering it while chanting Yeh Prayati Tajam Deham, one who leaves the body, Sayati Paramam Gatim, the supreme state obtained from Om, means whatever supreme final relief can be received from Om will be attained. What will that be? The attainment of Brahmalok. In the 16th verse of 8th chapter, it has been written Brahmalok Paryantaha. Even after going to Brahmalok, they are in recurrence. The creatures who have gone there come in birth and death. That is, complete salvation did not happen. If there is no salvation, then there is no peace. If birth and death remains, then there is no peace. Then there is no peace. Therefore, he tells his state in Gita chapter 8, verse 5 and 7, do my devotion by chanting Om mantra, you will receive me, but you will have to fight. In chapter 8, verses 8, 9, 10, immediately it is stated that if you do worship of that Paramakshar Brahma, then you will attain him. If you worship him, he will be attained. If you do mine, then you will remain with me. This is the rule that in the end time, the one you have faith in, you will be received by him. For that, the Tattvadarshi Sant will tell his mantra and has indicated in the 23rd verse of 17th chapter in Gita Ji, Om Tat Sat, the practice of these 3 mantras is to attain that Brahmane. Paramakshar Brahma, Om is of Brahmakshar Purush. For example, there are 3 gods in Gita chapter 15, verse 16-17. There are 3 gods. Kshar Purush, Akshar Purush, Paramakshar Purush. Kshar Purush and Akshar Purush. Kshar Purush is this Brahma. His mantra is Om, Om Tat Sat. Tat is of Akshar Purush. This is symbolic, is the code word, and Sat is of Paramakshar Purush. This Tat and Sat is indicative. This servant will tell the code word. No one in this world has this mantra except this slave, and after getting familiar with this slave, After getting mantra, if someone becomes a saint himself and starts giving mantra, then he is your biggest enemy. You are intelligent and you understand this thing very well. Even a license can't be made by an unauthorized official. It will not work. Anywhere, you both will be imprisoned. In the end, you will be caught when you will go after leaving this world. God has not showered grace on anyone else apart from this servant. Yes, earlier he has met great men whom he had given these mantras. Their welfare happened, but they were told not to disclose this mantra.
धर्मदास तो लाख दुहाई, ये सार नाम की तबार ना जाई, सार नाम बार जो पढ़ी, ये बिचली पीढ़ी हंस नहीं तरही.
Pious souls, now this middle generation has come where you are born. In the first phase of Kali Yuga, God himself had come. Now in this middle generation, last generation will become complete atheists. Those who worship now will be liberated. This will continue for 1,000 years, this path of God. There will be a lot of peace in whole world. The chaos and race for money will end. Everyone will do worship in peace. Thieves, dacoits, all these will be finished because we will become familiar that if we steal someone today, then we will have to give it by becoming a donkey in the next life. Who will get into the problem? Only ignorant children who do not know touch naked electricity wires. So in Gita chapter 8 verses 8, 9, 10 it has been said that it is the chant of 3 mantras Om Tat Sat. An enlightened saint will tell, I am not familiar with it. If he is worshipped, then he will be attained. For that search for enlightened saint. Then do as he tells. Even Arjun does not know, neither will he tell. So Arjun finally gave up that God, I will do whatever you will tell me. If you do that, then you remain as is. So the point of saying is that we have to get aware with that Tat Brahm and entire Krishnam Adhyatma, which means all spirituality, and with all deeds to familiarize you with that Tat Brahm. You are called in the satsang and are told this true spiritual knowledge. Now, virtuous souls, first we must recognize God, and which God should be worshipped. That is, if you go to some saint, everyone says to remember God, he will bless. Everyone say that do devotion, you must remember God. Then what are the mantras? Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Sita Ram, Radhe Sham, Radhe Radhe Sham Milade. They used to give these mantras. It is said,
गीता और भागवत पढ़े ना पूजे शब्द ठिकाने नू.
They read Gita, and what mantra has been told in Gita? Only one, Om. To attain that Paramakshar Brahm, there are a mantra of 3 words from which Kal himself is not familiar. So it has been told in Gita chapter 8 verse 8, 9, 10 that when you find a Tattvadarshi Sant, then after obtaining mantra from him, when you will do devotion of God, then you will attain him to Paramakshar Brahma, Param Divya Purush, which means the original form God. You will obtain the root form God. Going where the creatures never return to the world. The knowledge giver of Gita is giving his information in Gita chapter 4 verse 5, 9, and he says in Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse number 17 and Gita chapter 10 verse number 2 that Arjun, you and I have had many births, you do not know, I know. And in the second verse of the 10th chapter in Gita Ji, it has been said that neither these gods know my origin nor do these saints know, because all these have originated from me. I am their source. So virtuous souls, a child cannot know the origin of his father. The origin of a father can be told by father's father means grandfather. God himself came and told the origin of this Brahma, virtuous souls. God himself came and gave his knowledge, even though our scriptures also prove this at various places, but we could not understand those scriptures because we did not know the universe creation, the master key. We did not have this master key. Consider this creation of the universe as the master key to understand the whole spiritual path. And until this is understood, we cannot understand any scripture. Now, as the knowledge giver of Gita says that these sages and gods, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, do not know my origin because they have been born from me. It has been told in 2nd verse, 10th chapter in Gita Ji. With this, it has been proved that knowledge giver of Gita Ji is perishable. His birth, death happens. He is Brahm and is speaking by entering Sri Krishna Ji. He himself says in Gita Ji chapter 8 verse 13 that Om iti ekaksharam Brahma vyaharan mam anusamran yah prayati tajam deham sahyati paramam gatim. And then in Sri Shiv Mahapuran, published from Gita Press Gorakhpur, he again says on page 26, by souls, this servant aims to introduce you to this complete spiritual knowledge. The scriptures tell even the same, that unless you become completely familiar with him, you cannot do worship. In Gita Ji chapter 2 verse 53, it is said that Arjun, confused by hearing various statements, when your intellect is firm based on Tattva Gyan, will become firmly secured in the thought of one God, means will get stable. Then you will attain yoga, then you will start worship, will commence bhakti, then you will become firm devotee. So to make you a firm devotee, the spiritual knowledge, Krachnam, means the complete spiritual knowledge is being brought face to face to you. Now look, a little link has been related to this. Sri Shiv Puran, published by Gita Press Gorakhpur. The editor is Hanuman Prasad Podar. I will show you on its 26th page. Once Brahma Ji and Vishnu Ji got into a fight over this topic. Vidveshwar Samhita says, I'm your father. He says, I'm your father. This starts from page 24. To end their fight, this Kal Brahm, who does not appear in its real form, stood a pillar in between them. Pillar, Ling, later this was called Shivling. Then they stood up after fighting. Then he himself came and appeared in the form of Shiva, means in the form of Sadashiv. When he met Brahma and Vishnu, then he appears in form of Shiva. He performs such divine acts. Now I will show you on page 25 from here. There is a little link to it from Gita Press Gorakhpur. Vidveshwar Samhita, Brahma and Vishnu asked, Lord, tell us both what are the characteristics of nature, etc., the 5 duties. Lord Shiva said that Kal appeared in the form of Shiv form to deceive them. It is very deep to understand my actions. However, I am graciously telling you about them. Listen. It is further said, on 26th page, he tells Brahma and Vishnu, this Kal Brahma's sons, both of you performed penance with which I got pleased. Now God says, Ye Jyot Sarupi kahe Niranjan mein hi karta bhai. He is calling himself God. You have obtained 2 powers, creation and nurture, from me, the Supreme Lord. Both these are dear to you. In this way, my Vibhuti Swarup means similar to my looks. Rudra and Maheshwar have obtained 2 other noble acts of destruction and death from me, but no one else can obtain indulgence from act. Look further. It has been proved with this that here the speaker of the Puran, the one who is speaking Puran, is different from Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra and Mahesh. This is Brahma, this is Kal. Look here, what does he say? We are reading on this page 26th. Concise Shiva Puran, Vidveshwar Samhita, see this. I have preached Swarup Bhut Mantra in the past, which is famous as Omkar. That is an auspicious mantra First of all, Omkar, Om, appeared from my mouth, which is the one that refers my form. Omkar is the announcer, I am the voice. This mantra is my form. By constantly remembering Omkar every day, I am remembered from my north mouth, Akar, from west mouth, Ukar, from south mouth, Makar, from east mouth, Dot, from middle mouth, Nad is created. These are 5. One is from the west mouth, one is from the north mouth, one from the west mouth, second, third, 4, and 5th dot. From the north mouth dot, the 5th is Nad. In this way, they are 5. One is Akar, Ukar, Makar, and this dot and Nad. They are 5. In this way, Omkar consisting of 5 components was expanded. In this way, this Pranava became one word Om after joining, and this is my mantra. He says, this is my mantra, Om, one word. He's different from Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. This Kal Brahma is speaking standing in the form of Shiva. They have written bit below. Om Namah Shivaya is a 5-syllable mantra. This has been written wrong. It is nowhere mentioned in the original Sanskrit. Now we have to see the Omkar mantra, whose mantra is Om. This is Brahma. He is different from Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. He is speaking Gita by entering inside Sri Krishna. Here also he is saying Om is my mantra. Now it has become clear from this that this Kal is speaking the knowledge of Gita ji. He is speaking by entering inside Sri Krishna and is saying that mine is only one word, Om. Om iti ekaksharam brahma vyahran mamanusamran yeh prayati tajam deham sahayati paramam gatim. There is one word, Om, of me, Brahma, nothing else. So those who tell other practices except this mantra, it is said,
गीता और भागवत पढ़े ना बुझे शब्द ठिकाने नु.
They read Gita and Bhagavad. Is it anywhere written in Gita? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Is it written? Then why are you studying Gita ji? And wasting your life by making folklore as base. We will have to again take care of our pious scriptures. Now, in Gita ji chapter 16 verse 23-24, the concept has been made completely clear. Those who do arbitrary worship by abandoning scriptures neither get happiness nor salvation, and nor do they get any power. Because powers will take us to Satlok. We do not have to misuse them. So he does not get any powers. The purpose for which he has come is not complete. And it is said in 24th verse, Arjun, therefore in the situation of what should be done and what should not be done, scripture is the only reference. Do not trust anyone's folklore. Believe in whatever is written in the scriptures. Pious souls, we must do devotion today according to what is written in scriptures. What do our scriptures tell? God says, first, we must get familiar with complete spiritual knowledge and with Tat Brahm. Who is he? How is he? And where does he reside? In Rig Veda Mandal number 9, Sukta number 86, Mantra 26 and 27. In Rig Veda Mandal number 9, Sukta 82, Mantra 1, 2, 3. Rig Veda Mandal number 9, Sukta 96, Mantra 16 to 20. And at many other places, Rig Veda Mandal number 9, Sukta 1 and Mantra 8 and 9, it has been clarified what kind of divine act God does. So first of all, we have to recognize God. Who is that God and what kind of spectacle he performs? 600 years ago, God Kabir Dev Ji, Paramakshar Brahm, as he performs his spectacle with 3 stages, amongst that, the one divine act is that he appears in the form of a child. In the year 1398, Samvat 1455, and on full moon day of Jesht month, means the descending of the full moon of Jet month, on that full moon day, on that Purnima, God came from Satlok and appeared there. Virtuous souls, it is necessary to make you familiar with the scriptures side by side. It becomes duty of the servant. That is why God has given you education, that you recognize God, else education was not needed for this livelihood earlier. Our ancestors used to live in a simple way in raw hut, temporary houses, 20, 10 generations crossed like this by passing time, and since we have received this education, we see this material happiness but sorrow. Countless times tension has happened. Now it was necessary to give it, otherwise God did not let this poison come on you. Now that's why you consider this education to be very good, but it is good from this point of view that we will recognize God. That's all. Rest, we have become doctors, engineers, and some have become IAS, IPS. This is all a matter of livelihood. We did not need it for this. We wanted our 2 pieces of bread. A person who lives in a simple way is happy. No creature is happy, no matter how big an officer he may be, whether he is a minister or a chief minister. They do not have such a thing as happiness because we do not know. God told us that there is no such thing as happiness in the 21 universes if you were thinking that. But the education that we have got, its purpose is that we will recognize God and will get rid from here and will go where there is no birth and death. There is no old age, there is no death. So we will live there. What will we do here? No matter how happy someone might be here, you have children, your children are good, and there is a lot of worldly happiness here, and you can die tomorrow. Without devotion, you became a donkey in the next life, damned to the comfort that you have left. What was its use? God says that we will surely die. This family will also not go with you. Well, you will never come here again, O God, not even in dreams. Think that I take birth here. If I'm born again, same distress will start. You are suffering now, don't know when it ends, and you may have to leave. We are living in such havoc, absolutely relaxed. We are making comforts. We dance, jump, do the bhangra. In such a dirty world, we listen to the songs, jump and dance, watch films. How can this interest you? Then you have not understood this knowledge. You have not understood what God has come to say to us. Where are you living? Come out of here. We don't know this knowledge yet. We should be deeply wounded within the soul. Where are we living? Nanak Sahib Ji was asked that you are always sad. Then he said, why don't I remain sad? Do not know what misery may happen here in a minute.
ना जाने काल की कर डारे किस विध डल जा पासावे और जिना ते सरते मौत खुड़कती उनानु केड़ा हसावे.
A marriage took place and preparations for the wedding were held. The groom's family was dancing, jumping, playing DJ and having a lot of fun. The next day the marriage group was going on. They had gone 20 kilometers from their city. There they met with an accident. The groom died, also 5 more died. On the last day, they were playing DJs and dancing. The next day, pictures came of them crying in newspapers. Soul was crying that, oh God, you have opened our eyes. It is said,
कहते ना जाने काल की कर डारे किस विध ढल जा पासावे और जिना ते सरते मौत खुड़कती.
There is no surety even for a second what misery may happen, and here we jump and dance and do all sorts of drama. So here without knowledge only a drunkard can make such a mistake.
कबीर ये माया अटपटी सब गट आन अड़ी और किस किस ने समझाऊं या कुएं भांग पड़ी.
So now this antibiotic capsule to remove cannabis, and this discourse and knowledge, this medicine in form of mantra is being given through your ears. So when we come to know from this, when we know spiritual knowledge, then we will be successful. Now we analyze the God whom we were searching for, and we believed his divine acts are mentioned in the Vedas, Gita Ji, and the Puranas. We are now reading the same scriptures ourselves. Now we are making decisions by reading ourselves because we have that master key by which we can understand all the scriptures. We have that key. The creation of the universe, which God Himself had come and told us 600 years ago, that you used to live there in Satlok, you had made a mistake. There, Kal did penance and you got fascinated by him and removed your mind from God. You came along with him, and here he has made you unhappy because God will become sad if I make you suffer. He is giving us sorrow as much as he can because we are not his. We are the children of our God Kabir. Now he cries for us because we are his soul. Although we made a mistake and came here, he is also sad. Like if someone's daughter or son gets spoiled and that girl gets married to an unworthy boy, by ignoring mother, father, and he is troubling her, the mother and father are still crying that my daughter is suffering. They cannot live in peace. So ours is the same situation. So Kal is making you sad. What condition has he made? Doesn't let you live. And we still think that life will be like this. You are suffering in hell. Even be a prime minister here. 36 diseases will be found. Lot of tension and diseases at home. Don't know what incident might happen. So the point is that we must understand this whole spirituality. Then we have to recognize that God. And the God about whom it has been said that Vedas are filled with the knowledge of that God. There is his information. What information is there in Vedas? Look, Rig Ved, Mandal number 9, Sukt number 1. See this. Publisher is Sarvadeshik Arya Pratinidhi Sabha, Maharishi Dayanand Bhavan, Ramlila Ground, New Delhi. The printer is Prince Offset Printer, 1510 Patodi House, Daryaganj, New Delhi. We will read. It's part 9, Sukt number 1. This is the 9th part. We will see a little from here because they continue to consider God as formless. Therefore, further they messed up. It has to be first identified from here. This is the first mantra, part 9, Sukt number 1, its first mantra. It has been written in it that, Hey Paramatman, right? Means there is the information of God. We are reading Rig Ved, part 9, Sukt 1, mantra 2. It is written in this, Hey Paramatman, you. And then in the third, Hey Paramatman, you. In the fourth, Hey Paramatman, you, means the glory of God is going on. In the fifth, Hey Paramatman, you. Now in the sixth, Hey Paramatman, you. Now in the seventh it is wrong here. It became difficult for them as it states God, that is in form. Now in seventh they started writing. To that man, they messed up, Purush. Now in 8th, they have written again, to that man. Here, it was to be written to that God. Now this concept will have to be cleared a little again. The translator of these Vedas is Maharishi Dayanand and his followers. They are following the principle of Maharishi Dayanand as final, that God is formless. And whatever he has written, whatever meaning he has done, considering it to be true, they are following his orders. Now see, there is a book written by Maharishi Dayanand, Om, written by Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati. This book is Rig Ved Adi Commentary. This is the name of the book. And from where has this been printed? Sarvadeshik Arya Pratinidhi Sabha, Maharishi Dayanand Bhavan, 3/5, Asif Ali Road, Delhi 2, from New Delhi 2. Look at this. Srishti, Vidya, Vishay, Sankshept. This is one subject of the Rig Veda Adi commentary. The same is going on. He has cleared the concept on page 125. See, it is written below that Yat Purush, its meaning is written as he is called Purush, who is called Almighty God. It is understood. Purush means God. Purush is one. This translation has been done by Dayanand. The one who is called Almighty God means the Almighty. He was not aware of God nor the Supreme God, yet it is acceptable to his followers that what Dayanand has said is true and Purush means God. Now we will read again. It has been proved that Purush means God. Now we will clear it. Where they have thought of making a mess, where they have written Purush, this is God. The Almighty who has been called God is called Purush. Look at this. Now, we have come here again, Rig Veda part 9, Sukt 1 till mantra number 6. God has been written, and in the 7th, when the topic of God being in form came in the whole body, then they started writing man. Someone might think it is about a person. Purush means God. Now see, they have done amazing things in the 8th. Aha! That Purush means some situations inspire God. I will tell this in the creation of the universe.
के सब बहुविध जीवन कीन पुकारा.
When they were burning on Tapatshila and there was an outcry, God came there, seeing those situations to explain his knowledge. To that God, Purush, means God has been proved. Some situations inspire that God means such a situation is created, like now there is an outcry. There is no life of the creature. The only purpose left is to collect wealth. Then at that time God himself comes or sends some servant by giving his power. The situations inspire Purush. It refers to the time when God himself comes, illuminating body, means highly radiant body. God is obtained. Purush means God has been cleared. Now look, we are reading ahead of Rig Veda part number 9, Sukt number 1, and in which he acquires the nectar-like body. Varan means to provide welfare to others in 3 ways. Madhumeh means get a very lovely body. He takes care of all the arrangements with 3 types of bodies. This too has been cleared. The second type of divine play has been written here, that Abhi adhanya ut shrinanti dhinve shishum som indraya pantave. To that supreme man who has calm nature. Here they have inserted Purush. They should have written immortal man, so means God with calm nature like the moon, to the eternal God, and consider Purush here as God. To that calm-natured God who is in the form of a child, Shishum. In the original text, this Shishum has been written. Shishum in the young age itself means when he appears in the form of a child. Abhi adhan. Adhan means one who has not been touched by the bull. Maiden means is completely virgin in all respect. Poorna Rupen maiden, the one who has never been harassed by the bull. So the point is that the virgin cows, maiden cows, feed him. When God comes acquiring the form of a child, his upbringing is done by these virgin cows. This is told in the Vedas, and this has been mentioned at various places. In all the 4 Vedas, this context reoccurs. I will make the concept clear by showing one. The rest I will show later when time comes. It has been written in the Sukshma Ved about the divine act which the Supreme God did 600 years ago from today, and what had happened at that time. Look at this. This is Sukshma Ved. I will show you this. When God appeared on a lotus flower in the form of an infant in a pond called Lehertara, there a sage named Ashtanand witnessed this, that a ball of light came from above And he looked up after taking a bath in the morning. He was trying to do his worship by sitting in a peaceful place near the pond. Suddenly, a ball of light came from the sky. He saw that carefully and his eyes closed. As we look towards the sun but cannot see, eyes get closed. Still, the shape of the sun remains visible. The reflection is fed into us. Maharishi Ashtananji, who was a disciple of Ramananji, could not bear that radiance of what he saw when his eyes closed. What did he see? A newborn baby, an infant boy is visible coming from above. He looks again, he sees that the light gets confined in one corner in the Lehertara pond. He gets up and goes and questions his Guruji that, Guruji, I have seen something like this. Ramananji says that sun, some incarnations come from above, then a star break like this. Some incarnation has come from above and some god might have come, will take birth from a mother's womb and will perform his spectacles here. They only know that God takes birth from mother, but he was eternal God. No one has given him birth. Swambhu, he has appeared on his own. He appears on his own. No one gives him birth. There was a couple named Niru Nima, two weavers. They used to go there to take a bath. Earlier they were Brahmins. Muslims had forced them to become Muslims. Although they had become Muslims, they could not remove Lord Shankar from their heart. They kept worshipping him from within. On that day too, she said the same thing his wife said. O Lord Shiva, is there a shortage of children in your house? For your devotee, please give us a toy as well. Our life would have become meaningful. While saying this, they reached Lehertara pond. What did they see there? A newborn baby is found on a lotus flower. They brought him home. He grew 25 days old, but neither does he drink water, nor drinks milk, and flourishes as if the child drinks 1 kg milk daily and is healthy. Now his mother Nima became very sad. She started crying very badly. O Lord Shiva, you either shouldn't have listened, should not have given him. You are taking after giving, O Lord. I will not survive without this child. Do not know what magic this child has done on me. I cannot remain alive without him. He has been 25 days old and he did not eat anything. Now he will die along with I will die is my firm decision. Then God inspired Lord Shiva. Shivji appeared there in form of a saint. Because she was crying, remembering Shivji, he asked, Mother, what is the matter? Why are you crying? She narrated the whole story, told the entire story, that one day I prayed from the heart. She was 60 years old and had no child. One day I prayed to Lord Shiva. He listened to us and gave this child on a lotus flower in the Lehertara pond. Now this child is not eating anything. He's of 25 days old, Saint Ji. He is going to die and I will die along with him by drowning in the river. This is my firm decision. Then he said, Mother, show me your child. Where is he? She brought him. She thought, let me put him at the feet of the saint. As soon as she wanted to put him at the feet, God floated in the sky and became stable in the sky like this in the air parallel to the head of Shivji. Then Shivji did like this and he came into the hands of Shivji. Then God said, tell them to bring a virgin cow and you put your hand on her, Saint Ji. She will give milk. I will drink that milk. He said it 7 times. God discussed it 7 times with Shivji and Nima is watching. Niru also came. Nima is looking and thinking that this saint has such power that he flew my son into the sky. The saint has powers and got a 25-day-old child to talk.
अब कहते हैं जगत का पेखना पेखा धनी का नाम ना लिखा.
And she is considering it all to be the power of that saint. As was the order, Lord Shankar said that Niru, Go and bring a virgin cow and bring a clean small pot from the potter. He brought Lord Shiva, patted her back, the udders came along and the milk started flowing itself, started coming out of the udders. The clean vessel that they had brought from the potter was kept below, and as soon as the vessel was filled, it stopped. Then God was fed milk and he drank it. Now God does this divine act. Vedas tell, and he did it. The history of God tells, his divine acts tells that he did this. So who is God? Vedas say that he drinks the milk of virgin cows, and who drank it? Krishna used to keep 200, 400 old cows and used to drink milk, but God drank from maiden cows. It has been written in his biography, I will show you. This is Kabir Sagar. The spectacle of God has been written in this. This is the 5th Ved, Sukshma Ved. This has been published by Khemraj Sri Krishna Publication, Bombay, the first volume, Kabir Panthi, Bharat Pathik, by Swami Yugalanand Bihari, means has been written by Kabir Panthis. This servant did not write anything from his side. The printer and publisher are Khemraj Sri Krishna Das, President Sri Venkateshwara Press, Khemraj Sri Krishna Das, Bombay. Now it has been written in this Gyan Sagar on page number 74. It is said in this,
सुन जुल्हा बन भयो आनंदा, जिमी चकोर पायो निश्चंदा.
just as the partridge bird sees the moon in the night, they got such happiness when the child was found.
ले सुत चले हर्ष मन कीना, तासो पुन अस बोल ही दीना. सुत काशी को ले चले लोग देखन तय आम, अन्न पानी बख्शे नहीं जुल्हा शोक जनाव.
He does not eat anything. They brought the child.
तब जुल्हा मन कीन तिवाना, रामानंद सो कही उत्पाना.
If something goes wrong with the child, then they go to sages, saints and ask, Saint Ji, tell us the reason why our child does not drink milk.
तो मैं सुत पायो बड़ा गुणवंता, कारण कौन बखे नहीं संता.
He says to Ramanand Ji that, O Maharaj Ji, our child is not eating or drinking anything. I found a child on the lotus flower.
रामानंद ध्यान तब धारा जुल्हा सो तब वचन उचारा. पूर्व जन्म तुम ब्राह्मण जाति, हरि सेवा की नी भली बाती. कुछ तुम सेवा हरि की चूका, ता तो भय जुल्ह का रूपा. प्रीति प्रभु गई तो लीना, ताते उद्धान में सुत तो दीना.
God gave you a son in the forest by listening to your prayers.
हे प्रभु जस कीन तस पायो, आरत हो तो दर्शन आयो.
Now Niru is saying, whatever happened to me has happened. Now more sadness happened.
सो कहिए उपाय गुसाई, बालक अक्सु दावंत कुछ खाई.
Child is hungry, make some arrangement so that the child eats.
रामानंद अस युक्ति उचारा, तुम सुत कोई ज्ञानी अवतारा.
Your son is a learned man.
बछिया जाही बैल नहीं लागा, अर सोले ठाड करो ते ही आगा.
Bring a cow whom the ox has not touched, means is an untouched cow, maiden cow, and bring.
दूध चले ते ही थन ते दूध धरो छिपाई, अक्षुतावंत जब होवे ता कहें देव खवाई. अब जुल्हा एक बछिया ले आवा, और चलो दूत कोई मरम न पावा. चलो दूत जुल्हा हरसाना, राख छिपाई काहू नहीं जाना.
Now this Chaleo Doot, who was the messenger? This was Lord Shankar, pious souls. Now it's confirmation. Kabir Sagar, the 5th Veda, is the law of God, and his biography is in this. God has given the information about this middle generation, and what has he said in that? There was a discussion of Kal and God at Tapatshila. Then Kal had said to take fewer creatures in 3 eras.
और चौथा युग जब कलयुग आवे, तब तब शरण जीव बहु जावे. और ऐसा वचन हर मोह दीजे, तब गवन संसार ही कीजे.
Then he told God that, God, you have come to take souls, but take fewer souls in 3 eras, and you may take as many souls. In the 4th era of Kali Yuga, then God said that it is okay, tathastu. He took one more commitment from God, that God, whoever accepts your knowledge will be yours, and one who remains firm on my knowledge, fake knowledge, then let him be mine. Do not take him. God said that he is of no use to me. When God gave approval, then Kal had said, you may surely go down, but no one will believe you. I will do such in Kali Yuga. I will make many cults, religions will start 12 fake sects in your name, Kabir Panth, Satlok, Sachkhand.
और अनेक पंथ में चलाऊं, इस जीवों को भरमाऊं, और देवल देव मंदिर पुजवाऊं, और या विद जीवों को भरमाऊं, जीव न माने कहा तुम्हारा, और बेसिक जातू ज्ञानी संसारा.
Then the creatures won't listen to you. I will run 12 sects, Kabir Panth, all these come in 12 fake cults or Panth. Anek chalaun this Radha Swami, and many of them are under the other category. All these are Kal's inspiration, are run by Kal. Let's clear one more of this concept here. These Kabir sects have done some cutting and mixing in this Kabir Sagar out of ignorance. They have messed up a little bit on their own, but still they could not hide the truth. God knew that in 600 years some disturbance will be caused by Kal. Kabir Panthi will be messenger of Kal. Then he had said that for its correction, the 12th sect of Garib Das Ji would run and correct it. The cults of God ran till his special virtuous souls. But then the messengers of Kal went on entering. The speech of my glory will reappear in the 12th sect, which will be of Garib Das Ji, and whatever mistakes have been done by changing it as per their understanding will be corrected. Not everything. So its fulfillment will be in from that speech which Garib Das Ji will speak. And it is like this only. First, let me show you which are these 12 sects. Look, this is the same Kabir Sagar. See, this is Kabir Vani. A chapter in this Kabir Vani on page number 136. Look below.
द्वादश पंथ चलो सो भेद, यानी द्वादश पंथ काल फुरमाना, और भूले जीव न जाए ठिकाना. है
In these 12 cults, the instructions of Kal, Kal's order, his knowledge will be filled, and the mantra that has been provided in these 12 cults with that soul can never go to the destination. Tate agam kya hum rakhya, vansh hamara chudamani shakha.
यहाँ ठीक लिखा कि वंश हमारा चूड़ामणि शाखा. प्रथम जग में जागू बरमावे, और दूसरा सुरत गोपाल, तीसरा मूल निरंजन, चौथा टकसार पंथ, पांचवा बीजक पंथ, और छठा ये सतनामी पंथ, और सातवां ये जीवा पंथ, ये राम कबीर पंथ.
In this way, these 12 cults, here they messed up. Here they put Chudamani. Here they removed Chudamani from the lineage. They should have written first, this is the first dynasty of Chudamani, and further the branches. Now let us take it here. This is Kabir Charitra Bodh, and on its page 1870, look here, the description of Kabir Sahib cults. One is the Narayan Das cult. Here they have written this Narayan Das Panth wrong, because Narayan Das was completely against Kabir Ji. He had not accepted him at all. Here it was supposed to be written 1. Chudamani cult, 2. Yagon Das cult, 3. Surat Gopal cult, 4. Mool Niranjan, 5. Taksari cult, 6. Bhagwan Das cult, 7th Satyanami cult, 8th Kamali cult. This is the sect of Kamal. They should have written Kamal. 9th Ram Kabir cult, 10th Prem Dham speech cult, 11th Jiva cult, 12th Garib Das cult from Chodani. This is his 12th cult.
जगत गुरु तत्वदर्शी संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी के मंगल प्रवचन। अधिक जानकारी के लिए विजिट कीजिए हमारी वेबसाइट www.jagatgururampalji.org। संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी के शुभ आशीर्वाद से पूरे विश्व भर में 500 से भी ज्यादा नाम दीक्षा केंद्र हैं, जिन पर संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी द्वारा ऑनलाइन निशुल्क नाम दीक्षा दी जा रही है। अपने नजदीकी नाम दीक्षा केंद्र का पता करने के लिए संपर्क करें 8222880541।